Now we're going to talk about food combining. What most of us don't realize is one of the number one reasons why we have bad health is because we are using improper food combining. So in the last module that we watched, we were learning what we should be eating. This module is going to be about how we should be eating. Remember that 80-20 rule that applies to everything in our life, right? 80% of work with 20% of play. We're going to do 80% of our diet is going to be fruits and vegetables, and 20% is going to be our meat, proteins, and our starch. Simple. I'm not talking about measuring out everything and, oh, I had 8 ounces of this and 2 ounces of this. Look at your plate. What's on your plate? Is it 80-20 or is it a little bit askew? This is where food logs can be really important because then you can actually look at your food log and see what you ate throughout the day and see if you're maintaining that 80-20 rule. When clients turn in their food logs to me, I actually grade them and figure out if they're staying within that. Now, if you're on phase one foods, just a side note, you're going for 90-10. 90% of your diet is fruit and vegetables. 10% is your meat protein because we're eliminating the starch. Okay. Now, when we're talking about our starch and our proteins, as you look at your sheet that you downloaded in the last module, we don't want to combine our proteins and our starches. And there's a reason why we don't want to do this. Because when we eat meat protein, our body uses hydrochloric acid to break it down. And that's how we break it down so our body can digest it and pull the nutrients from it. When we eat our starch, we use alkalizing enzymes to break that down. So we're going to go back to chemistry. When you take acid and you're shooting it in the gut and you're taking an alkaline substance, which is our enzymes, and you're putting it in, you neutralize it. And then everything in your gut starts to rot. And we start worrying, like the body starts worrying about how it is going to process this. So it starts generating more acid. We tend to see a lot of people with acid reflux when they're doing this. So if we keep them apart, we can eliminate that problem. We can stop putting so much stress on our bodies. How many people do we know that have digestive issues? How many people do we know that's missing a gallbladder, right? How many people do you know that are on a pharmaceutical or over the counter for heartburn when all you have to do is this one little fix and you can probably fix it all? So remember, we're not meat and potatoes anymore, right? We can't eat our meat with our potatoes. We need to eat our meat with our vegetables, and then a half hour later we can have our potato. Okay? We can take it home with us, whatever. Just don't eat them together. Now, they need to be 30 minutes apart. I don't remember if I said that. So we need to eat them 30 minutes apart if we're going to eat them together, preferably longer if we can. We're going to eat our fruit all by themselves. Fruit digests very fast. And if you eat it with other things, the fruit starts to ferment in the gut and it starts to rot. And we don't want it to rot. So we eat it alone. One of my mentors told me, always do the 10 and 2. Remember on the steering wheel, 10 and 2. So at 10 o'clock, eat some fruit for a pick-me-up. At 2 o'clock, eat some fruit for a pick-me-up. My personal favorite is I just eat my fruit, my berries with my smoothie. Last but not least, we're going to talk about drinking your solids and chewing your liquids. Remember that old saying? So when you are eating something that is solid, you want to thoroughly chew it, mix it with the digestive enzymes in your mouth, your saliva, and get that going. Make it to where you can drink it. But for our liquids, what we're going to do is we're going to take a drink, swish it around, and swallow it. We're going to chew it. This helps our body and our digestive system break down the foods we need it to do without putting added stress on it. So that's it for this module. Our next module is going to be the 6 top foods that we want to avoid. So we'll see you at that one.